Let me do your hair. Bam, bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now, woo.
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl, Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
Well, I did it with Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your name. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips. Let me do your hair. I know it's probably smelling like a little charcoal today because it's Labor Day. What's happening, Black? How you doing out there? Y'all know who it is, right? It's me, your homegirl, Ladosha Wright, a.k.a. Key Lolo. And then right over there, there she is. Hey, what's up, DMF? My
Happy Labor Day.
My PNC, the one and only Cheryl Morrow, aka the Hair Oracle. We are live and direct. She is in beautiful sunny San Diego, California. You could tell by that. That shirt is just as blue as the sky. Look at it. It's all right. I could just smell it down. And y'all smell it. That gains that crispy, fresh smell out the dryer. And you know, mine's all charcoaly. I was with Chrissy today and we was barbecuing. How many people say barbecue and how many people say barbecue? Okay. If you where I'm from, you say barbecue. What's happening, good people? How you guys doing? Sure. What do you say? Do you say barbecue or do you say barbecue?
I say, what do they call it? They call it something else.
She is not Black. Her car just got revoked. Y'all see that? They call it something else.
No,
okay?
they do. They call
Anybody
it,
in the chat grilling? I'm sorry.
Grilling. Yeah.
Look at that grilling. Hey, if you grew up in the 70s, didn't nobody talk about we gonna grill. We said, hey, we're going over to Big Mama and them house because what they getting ready to do, y'all? They getting ready to
put
do
something
what?
on the grill. That's what
they getting ready to barbecue. How many people in the chat say barbecue, or grill? How Chris Cuomo say it? Let's get after it. Come on, y'all. Let's see what everybody say. As we wait to see, we got some wonderful people in the chat. Oh, what y'all say? Y'all say grill in Boston? Oh, Boston is just so.
I told you.
Boston is so Reeve Goose. You know, they're just so uppity. You know, they're just so prim and proper. All right. So we can't say, Selena, come on. Don't leave me hanging. Do we say barbecue? Do we say barbecue or do we say grilling? What's up? What's happening, good people? It's going down. What's happening on Instagram? How's everybody doing? We're going to go ahead on and play some Rachel Evans as we let the chat build and let some people go on and get y'all barbecue. I would eat online, but I got these braces and it's already not a good sight as it is. So go ahead and get y'all little, what they have, some baked beans, some mac and cheese, potato salad. You know, I know y'all got some barbecue. Do you say barbecue or do you say ribs? Do you say ribs? Do you have some barbecue? You have ribs and chicken and some scrimp?
Ribs.
Oh, come on, y'all. When you say you got some barbecue, we mean everything. Ribs, scrimp.
No, when you try to figure out what you want, you say to yourself, oh, damn, I think I want some barbecue. That's what you say. You know, then when you get there, you want barbecue, you know, brisket, you want barbecue ribs, or do you want the tips? You know what I mean? Then you go through all of that.
Oh, she said brisket. I don't know where I'm from. We ain't had no brisket. But anywho, all right, let me play this. I'm sorry. I'm talking about, listen, when you down the way, you either have some ribs, maybe some spare ribs. You might get a little shoulder. You might get some shoulder. If you rich, you got some shoulder. Okay. You definitely have some wings and some hot dogs and some hamburgers. I don't know about no steaks. Now I'm telling you, in the projects when nobody's slapping no steaks on no grill. Now when we got us a little money, we did put some steaks on the grill, but that took a long time to get there.
Absolutely.
Anywho, we're gonna play some Sister Rachel Evans as we welcome you guys to our 122nd episode tonight. It begins the month of September. We're talking about Afro hair and politics. Our 122nd episode is all about how to talk politics with someone when you disagree or agree, especially in the hair salon or the barbershop. Maybe you say barbershop. Maybe you say barbershop. Oh, y'all say barbershop. All right. Come on. Let's hear some let's hear some Sister Rachel Evans. Come on in. Yeah, welcome. What's happening, Black? Y'all know who it is, right? I keep telling y'all this is me, Key Lolo. We're gonna have a wonderful conversation today. Hey, but first we have to listen to Sister Rachel Evans, who has given us permission to use this as our theme song. And boy, are we excited. So let us do your hair on this beautiful, sunny Labor Day 2024. I know your hair smell like barbecue because mine do. Can't tell though. Y'all smell that charcoal, that lighter fluid? I had some designer lighter fluid today. Yeah.
And you have got to get the charcoal and the lighter fluid several days. Don't try to go get it the day of, y'all.
Don't do it. I want to very happy if you will let me to your hair. Even if it smell like lighter fluid. Come on in, y'all. Even if it smell like some wood chips. Hey, let me do your hair. Maybe you've been marching in the Labor Day parade and it smell like sweat. Come on in. We're gonna have a wonderful discussion today. Sister Survivor. Hey. Heartache, struggle. Welcome. Hey, come on in, Eileen from South Carolina. Yes, look at Cheryl showing off her little fingernails. We got our hair, our nails did. Come on in. Y'all better be fly. You know, for Labor Day, we get us some Labor Day clothes. Remember that? Come on. Go to Sears Roebuck. I miss Sears.
Damn, you won't let everybody know you're not.
And that, y'all remember that Spiegel catalog? Come on. That Spiegel catalog. Hey, Eileen, remember flipping through them pages? Like, that's my outfit. Yeah. Let me do
They bend the tip so you can find your page.
That's right. You had to bend the tip down. And we ain't like Kmart, you know. We ain't like Kmart. No, we had Uncle Bill's and Zayre's. Yeah. This was before Target. Yeah, that's all we had. All we had was Sears, Roebuck, Kmart. Yeah, that was it. You had Woolworth, you had Kresge's, yeah.
You had Montgomery Ward.
Montgomery Ward. Ooh, that was real bougie. Come on, y'all.
What?
Hey, Montgomery Ward, what's up? Let me do your hair. I know somebody got a Spiegel catalog sitting in that basement. Go on out that edit. Go on and get them yellow pages. Somebody got the white pages. I know y'all do. Come on now.
Ain't nobody got no more white pages.
Somebody. Oh, I forgot about that font. Yeah. That used to be the store too. Let me do your hair. Yeah. Fight lanes. Yeah. That's old school. Hey, yeah. Let me do your hair. All right, guys. That's super
about Woolworths.
Oh my God. How could I forget Woolworths? Oh, now remember, Now, you know you old if you remember when your parents took you to Woolworths and you had to put a quarter in to use the toilet. And your mama would be like, I ain't putting no quarter in there. You better crawl. All kind of, this was before the coronavirus. Your mama,
Oh,
don't care nothing
wait,
about no
man. Come
coronavirus.
on now.
I'm not putting no quota in there. Crawl under the floor, get some Mercer, some H1N1, Staphylococci, Streptococci, you name it. Crawl on the floor. Boost your immune system. Well, you know your immune system was boosted after you got up. Your immune was like,
Oh, my
killing
God.
out. Your immune system was like this. Look, Cheryl, everybody was kung fu fighting. Ha! What's up? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome. We're just getting a little warmed up here. It's Labor Day, right?
Yep.
And everybody is enjoying. It's still summer, and I was with my niece and my nephews today.
Aww.
And I made 2 little videos, right? Because I said they was like, well, can you go with us to the park again? We want to watch the airplanes because it's the air show here in Cleveland. I said, no, I can't do the air show. And they was like, oh, Auntie, don't, oh, Auntie. I said, well, I had her do the podcast. They go, my niece, 1 hair, 1 follicle. Look, my niece don't know me, but she knows Cheryl, okay? So here's my niece asking everybody to join Auntie Cheryl and Auntie Dosha with her rendition of 1 hair, 1 follicle. Join us tonight at 6. Y'all ready for my little niece commercial? She is just so, it's my little pooty poo. What's up, Shell Shock? I love that name. I am CFT and Candy Kiss 3Z over on Instagram. And my little niece, all right. I'm an auntie. I'm a grand. That's my great niece. So here she goes. This is my little niece, Mia Bella. Here she goes. 1 hair, 1
Follow.
tonight at 6. She said, when you say podcast, hair, she like, hold on. And they just love Auntie Cheryl. They love Auntie Dodo. So yes, they love us so much. And I also made a little, my little nephew, Mari, he did not know what a money man was. And so he brought because Mia Bella bought me a flower, right? And so she said, that ain't no flower. That ain't no. He said, yes, it is. Yes. I said, well, it's a money man. And he said, well, what you do? I said, you got to make a wish and you blow and the little, it'll blow away. And then, all your money wishes will come true. And he was, he said, it's not blowing. I ain't going to get no money. So here's my nephew, his first attempt at blowing a money man. You're going to love this one. Here he goes. What's up, good people? It's me, your homegirl, Ladosha, Wright, a.k.a. Key Lolo, reminding you, summer isn't over yet. Take a moment out and enjoy the finer things in life, such as blowing a money man. That's what it's all about. The simplicity and beauty of nature, of course, with you and your loved ones and your dreams all infused in it. Thank you so much for supporting the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel and all of our other social media platforms.
He was trying, baby.
He was trying. I said, you gotta take a deep breath. And he was just like, So, I had to give a little money. You know what I'm saying? The money man. Y'all remember those when y'all was a kid? We used to love. We would blow them things, and your parents like, don't you blow that shit in my house. Get your ass outside. Now, y'all just got stuff all over my porch. Like, but it's money. It's money.
I never knew that they were called money men.
Oh no. Okay. What did you guys call them? What? Is there another name?
It's called a willow.
Oh well. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'm in the project. We call it Money Man. Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we case said the same thing. You did not know they were called the Money Man. Oh, well, yeah. That's what we called them, the Money Man. I don't know where that came from, but maybe it's a Cleveland thing. I'm not quite sure. But Cheryl, she said, "Oh, just dandelions is what we called them." Okay, I thought dandelions was okay. It could be that too. Okay, okay. Well, I'm not about to look that up. Okay, but we are so happy to have you all in the chat with us tonight. It's our 122nd episode, and we have a wonderful discussion because you guys know we're inching on close. It's time to vote. And I know what you guys are gonna say. Y'all say this every year that our vote counts, but for real, Cheryl, tell them this year. Now, ever since Donald Trump got in this situation, now I'm not gonna tell nobody what to do with their vote, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you got to vote. And sure, you're a little bit more versed in politics because me, I'm just a little bit unadulterated because I get a little one-sided and start talking stupid. So let's set them up. Tonight we're going to be talking about, now in the hair salon and the barbershop, sure, you know, they say there's two things you never talk about in a hair salon, right? Yeah. You know what those are, right? Two things. Number one, religion. Number two, politics. So if you work in a hair salon or a barbershop, these are two things they say, please do not talk about these things. Now, I've been using this word contentious so lately. I know you guys are like, quit saying that. Can you find another word? No, I can't find another word. Cheryl's a wordsmith, so I'm sure she can find another word. But there are no more two contentious topics in a hair salon than politics and religion. I mean, you want to see some people get fired up. I mean, you heard Chris Blue say he almost lost a customer because yeah, he said that if you go back and listen to it, he was on with us Thursday before last, and he said she was a Trump supporter and she was not feeling the Kamala Harris conversation. And so tonight we're going to talk about that in the context of a barber and beauty salon and how to navigate it because we do have a role, right, Cheryl? And so you're going to hear your barber and your cosmetologist encouraging you to vote. And Cheryl, I want you to take it from there and share with everybody why. I mean, it is our civic responsibility. I learned that word for sure. I stole it before you use it. Okay. Sorry. You know, I'll be stealing Cheryl's words. I ain't gonna lie. At least I give her credit. But let everybody know why they are going to hear from their barber or cosmetologist or nail tech and your esthetician may be encouraging you to vote. Our framework is going to come from the aspect of Afro hair because this is the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel. But Cheryl, take that away and just kind of give them a little bit before I do some current events so we can just kind of set it up for them.
I think that they're going to be able to see a lot of our conversation, especially on Thursdays on Pluto Pseudo. But I do think that this particular election is a little different because one of the candidates has a lot of misinformation, and you must use information in the ballot. There's only going to be you in the ballot, right? There's only going to be you and the information that you have allowed yourself to be exposed to, and to be able to give as much precision, critical thinking, good information, no propaganda, and to make sure that you understand what that candidate is about in proximity of your interest, not the collective interest. Maybe you can, kind of like nail it down a little bit. Maybe it's just women. Maybe it's just, what's going on in your district, or just your you can do race, you can do gender, you can do your economic status, or whatever the case may be. But make sure that you have the best set of information. We have decided to partner with other stylists to make sure that if you have any questions, that we will, your barbers, people, that you can either ask, because, Miss Harris, Vice President Harris, has a lot of mis and disinformation
Wow.
connected to her political career, especially in the state of California. And I think
Mm,
that, and I always say this, I can't stand lazy, intellectual laziness. It's
wow.
just your responsibility to place your brain and your choices and your beliefs and your thoughts and decisions with the best set of information possible. So that's what we're
Right.
going to do.
That's what we're talking about. Now, Shell Shock over on Instagram says, if you think it's contentious at the hair salon and the barbershop, try the dinner table. Now, I'm going to give you a round of
Oh,
applause for that one, because you know what? I hadn't thought of that one, Shell Shock, because you're right. I am here to tell you, man, listen, Shell Shock, I'm telling you right now. Ooh, yeah,
this
that's
election,
real.
this
Thank you,
election,
Shell Shock. Appreciate that.
yeah, this election is really stepping on a couple of toes that America probably was not ready to deal with at this particular moment. As long as there's two men in it, we basically can mask about how we feel and how much progress we have made, and we haven't. Who's elevated, who's ready for the future, and what things that we must let go of. I think that the difference in gender at this point is kind of taking a scab off a little bit.
Right.
And you're
So,
seeing people's real.
right. So,
Yeah.
as we talk about, how to talk about politics when you disagree or agree, and again, our point of reference is the hair salon and the barbershop. But over on Instagram, we got Shell Shock saying, "Don't forget, at home, this can be, it can be just as like, oh, especially, if you got young and old, and now you got man and woman, because and I would like to kind of take it, let's start it from there. Salons are predominantly owned by women. And so now you have a political race. I don't see it as battle of the sexes. How many people in the chat see this election as man against woman? I don't see it as that, but there's something about a black woman in power that it's, I don't know. It's like people like, I ain't, just because she's a woman, I mean, I think it's an added bonus, but because it's our time, we should have been able to do this all alone. So even, you see, I'm struggling with it. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
So why is that? You know what I'm saying? Why is that? You know, is battle of the sexes a good thing or a bad thing, man against woman? Or should it just be qualifications and versus qualifications? Who's suited to do the job?
Yeah.
Can we look over the sex of who she is? That she's.
I think that ironically, this is going to be a tough election for our black male counterparts. I do think that they're going to struggle.
Why? Because you know what? I watched the polls. Well, I don't watch the polls. I watch the report about the polls, and they are saying that Vice President, soon to be President Kamala Harris, is leading with women, but black men are not feeling her. So I'm just going to show a clip right quick, just to kind of get it going. Now, about how black women are, when they, their image and in politics. So let's get it. Here we go.
The Afro hairstyle first started on college campuses as a display and embodiment of revolution.
All right, that was the wrong one. Here we go. Sorry. All right. So, I'm getting my clips from TikTok. So that's the thing, if you look a certain way, then your political, particularly that Afro, and then your skin color.
Yeah.
So for her, this has been a really, she's not black, and then her, female, and then you have in the hair salon, in the barbershop, something about that Afro. So you got women, and then you got, the Afro. So what's up with our hair? Now all of a sudden we're revolutionary, and then women, is this a space for us?
I think that women can pivot. Women have always had to pivot. We are used to it. We're elevated. We're sophisticated. We are used to bending and not being so rigid, compromising, and then going with, the best choice. No matter if we don't get everything we want, we compensate, right? And everything's a trade-off. So we don't even really get into, I think people treat us and pigeonhole us because we are either mocha brown and we've got, the natural hair. So they tend to think that we're either liberal, and we could, some of them could be quite conservative. But, and that's one of the things that I wanted to point out. I think the first level of civic ignorance is to really understand what is a conservative and what is a liberal.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's start there. As we talk, because now remember, guys, how do we talk about this when you disagree or agree when it comes to politics? And one of the things is just knowing the difference between a conservative, a liberal, and what's the other one? A progressive. So, and then you got your
moderate. Yeah.
Okay. So kind of break those down for us. Now we're in the hair salon, we're in the barbershop. These are very difficult things to talk about because some people don't even know what they are. Are you a progressive? Are you a liberal? Are you a moderate? I don't know. I'm gonna find out in a minute. Now, sure, break these 4 terms down for us. Just a little brief synopsis so we can understand, because this is our role in the hair salon and barbershop, and we don't want you guys to think we're trying to just, but we have issues in our industry that we need a political agenda. We need politicians to help us be able to exist here in America. So we need to know these things, guys. So help us out, Cheryl. Give us a little take on moderate, independent, all that other stuff. I forgot just that quick.
And the moderate and the progressive is to describe basically how you think of things in a social paradigm, and how you are open, and maybe you're a little bit of conservative, and maybe you're a little bit of liberal, and those are spaces. Those terms are for moderate and progressive. They're terms for
if you're straddling the fence,
how you feel about what is distributed, and how you're going to be fair and in the middle. A moderate's in the middle, or sometimes like my father would be fiscally conservative but moral liberal, right? And so he doesn't, he didn't care about who you slept with and how you did your personal life. It's none of his damn business, as Tim Walz would say. But, he did believe in smaller government and more power to the people in terms of economics.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
And let me just say this. I truly believe that Black people do not have a collective interest, which is part of the issue why we're so scattered. We don't have a collective.
Well, now you've given us the moderate and the progressive are the two people that kind of like straddle the fence, and they have different positions on how they may vote. They could go both, Democrat and, Republican. So what is a conservative?
So when you ask a person and they see that you're conservative,
like what is that?
Right. And you may have a most people assume that they don't understand Black conservatives. The question that you should always ask a person when they say they are a conservative,
okay,
them, what are they conserving?
Ooh, you so mean.
Yeah, always ask them, what are you conserving? Because, of course, let's just say liberal is short for liberty.
Right? Freedom.
Okay. So
Liberate.
someone says, well, what are you liberal about? You staying out of all of my damn business.
Mm-hmm.
So my point is, America is like a dichotomy. So in other words, a Democrat believes that government has more social responsibility to govern the people. They have more of a responsibility to govern in terms in controlling economics. They have more of a role to do this and to do that and to do this. Okay. Well, at the end of the day, people love the programs. They love the social responsibility. They love when the government feels like they should give us programs and agencies like the EPA and OSHA, and that they should help kind of oversee those particular things. And so it's not just the fact that they believe in big government. They just believe in different governmental intervention and social and responsibilities. Republicans or conservatives believe that their governmental role should be limited. And they are not going, they should not be in government, should not be in this or that.
So when we're talking about how to talk politics when you disagree, right? So a lot of people,
we disagree.
I should say, let me just say, well, I'm going with the Project 25, okay, 2025. So clearly there are a lot of people that are for this Project 2025 agenda, that the government is really in control of a lot of stuff.
That's
compared
why,
to what you just said.
That's why there's a disconnect.
Oh.
Because if you're conservative, then you should believe in small government throughout. But you only believe when it comes to social responsibility to help that person or that person. Oh, you want big government when it comes to you because you're conserving something.
Oh, but when it comes to them black folks,
Democrat, right,
them immigrants,
right.
But when I was an immigrant and I needed some help,
right, you came from
Roosevelt
Island, right?
I came from Ireland. If I came from
Europe, that's
Italy,
story.
Oh,
right, and so they shrink it when it comes to all of the people that don't look like them. Okay, and then they shrink it. But they don't ever shrink it in the liberties. It's big in the liberties and small in the economics because it is more aligned to men who had property when the Constitution was written. So they're conserving a time where government creates a more of an energy and a environment for a certain type of American to thrive. And that America is male, Christian, head of household, most times white, and that top heavy patriarchal hierarchy. That's what they're conserving. So the question is, as Black people, and that is why this particular election is going to be very difficult for Black men, because Black men are copying and parroting a lifestyle that is not in their best interest, because they're trying to do the Christian thing. They're trying to do that
they're trying to be white. Is that what you're saying?
That really doesn't pour in eventually into their best interest. And I think that the conservative and when you're in the salon, because the salon is a quite liberal
yeah, I was gonna say the salon,
and let me just say this, and the barbershop is a very liberal place, but the barbershop is rooted in what they want to be, is this Uncle Sam, white male, patriarchal, top heavy, breadwinner.
The Black man gonna duke us up. Now they gonna call us some deep state and All right, black men, don't y'all, we're just trying to work this out
Yeah,
because
and we have a community collective issue because black women, and it doesn't make a difference if they're black or white or Asian or Indian or Mexican or Latino or Canadian, women have the ability to be nuanced. We don't have anything in stake no matter what system it is. We want no system. And so, but men have benefited somehow from a system that plays into their favor. And they're just dying kind of hard on the vine a little bit. And they're just having this real contradicting moment. They have daughters, they have loved ones, they got mothers, and they just like, and they're still. And I think that we could help them move them along. But the maleness of Trump is just really still attractive to them.
Wow. Okay, guys. So we're getting a little deep here. We're on our 122nd episode. And as you can see, when we question the question of how to talk politics when you disagree, the big issue is going to be the whole thing about a woman. And then you have this big issue about the categories of where you're going to come from, when you decide to vote or not to vote, because there are a lot of people who are like, I don't care who running. I don't care what's going on. I'm not voting because I don't like politics. But in the hair salon, when it comes to Afro hair, that Afro speaks politics in a different kind of a way than people with straight hair. As a matter of fact, when we look at our current event, right? Here's an article. This is coming out of Vogue magazine, and it says, for women in politics, hair is never just hair. And so they go on to say that Democrats and Republicans are a little bit different. So they're saying Republicans are a little bit more sassy, right? And your Democrats are a little bit more conservative when it comes to hairstyles. But I decided to pick some. I don't know. These are some hairstyles that I see. I don't know if she's Democrat or Republican. Is that a conservative hairstyle?
She's liberal.
Oh, she's liberal. Okay. Is that a liberal hairstyle? The sister locks?
Well, locks, remember, that are not professional, but they are in the most professional, highest courtroom in the freaking land.
All right. What do you say about locks not being professional?
And they're definitely looking professional there because she
looks very. I don't want to stand in front of her. I'm just saying, hey,
Lady
sister.
Justice.
Yeah, all right. Okay. What about this one here? Here's another congresswoman. Okay.
Absolutely.
She's got braids. Okay. Does she look credible, guys? So here's the thing, that something about those braids, okay? And I just had to pick Miss Crockett, okay?
Absolutely.
She's slaying. Now, there was a time where this would never be. I mean, these are some high seats, These are
right. It was never a matter of are they professional, because we have to understand, especially as hairstylists and salons and barbers, we have got to make sure that we can decipher and translate codified language, especially in the beauty world of professional and workplaces and school education institutions. We've got to decodify that language for our clients and our customers. And so that hairstyle, or any hair, Afrocentric, elaborate hairstyle that makes what we call ruling class. Usually they are in charge of schools. They are usually in charge of employees. They are saying that since I can't do that, and most of the ruling class can't do that, that will be a standard too high, so therefore we'll erase it. And the standard will be what we can do. And so you are not the ruling class. You need to be able to come down and do what we do. That's what unprofessional means.
And I can see,
yeah.
and I can see a hairstylist, because now remember, we're talking about how to talk politics when you agree or disagree, right? So a woman will come to the hair salon and they're very busy, be it a politician, a doctor, just very, let's just say, high profile, on the go.
Yes.
And they do not want your traditional, like, Ladosha look, or even your look. And so we would say, try some braids. Oh, no, I can't. Now, a cosmetologist, we're going to talk you into this right here. I'm going to tell you right now. Now, we pushed it. They try to say, oh, cosmetologists, y'all wasn't welcoming. Yes, we were welcoming braid styles. We kept telling you guys it's unrealistic to try to smooth your hair and all this other crazy stuff. But, now it's, as Cheryl would say, these are trends. And so now you see these hairstyles that are like, they're in those high seats. But here is the first lady when she decided she wanted to wear braids. And let's hear what she had to say about that. Oh, did I get it? Oh, Jesus. What's this the one? Hold up. Dang nuts. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it.
Oh man.
Come on now, dog. So I have it. It's just this on here. I just had to go down. I didn't load it the way that I normally would. So hold on here, because she had a lot to say about her experience when she decided that she wanted to wear braids. So here she is right here. So let me hold up. All right, where we are. Here we go here. Let's see if I can get it to play. All right, let me share my screen. Present. Share. Hold on.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a technical person yet. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for your patience.
Perfect time.
Okay, here we go.
The like button.
Here we go. I think. Let's see. Download. All right. Okay.
Well, we've all.
We got it. Whoops. All right. Okay. So I think I got it here. Hold on. We got a little time. It's just Labor Day now, so ain't nobody really trying to. We got a little time here. Oh, let me cancel that. Here we go. All right, here it is. Okay, let me go ahead and open it up. It's uploading now. So here she is, Michelle Obama, and she's struggling with the same thing about, braids as a professional. And here it's coming up, in politics. And this one is very difficult. I don't know why, but it continues to be something that people just struggle with. All right, so
really,
here she goes. Yeah, here it is. Let's see. Here we go.
My team, I was like, I'm thinking about braids, and folks would be like, oh.
Would it be like crickets in the room? Like,
it would be misinterpreted. They'd be called on head like revolutionary braids. Yeah. What is Michelle Obama trying to say?
Obama says Americans weren't ready for her natural black hair. First Lady Michelle Obama considered wearing her hair in braids while living in the White House, but then she thought of the American people. They were just getting adjusted to having a black president in the Oval Office and a black family in the White House. So she decided to keep her hair straight. How awesome it would be if Michelle Obama was able to wear her natural hair. All of the people would have had like a million things to say about her hair. And when you really think about it, there is no other race of people who would have to make a decision like this.
My team, I was like, I'm thinking about.
All right, so there we go. What is it about hair, particularly Afro hair, in politics that's very difficult? Because we in the professional world, this particular podcast, we're talking about the dumbest shit that people say about black hair, and that braids are somehow this whole revolution. It's just this rah-rah thing about Afro hair, or that you have to make it palatable, and she couldn't do it. So what is it about braids and the Afro that somehow it's just still you got to nestle, you got to get nestled into it.
Well, it's two things. I want you guys to understand. She was wearing her natural hair. It was just straight. Okay? So let's just get that straightened out. Okay? It was her hair. It was just straightened, which is natural hair. That was her hair, right? That's number one. But I think that if we can, especially this election, allows us to be able to get under the hood with certain conversations. And so the choice of her not allowing it to be curly, I want you guys to understand that a lot of women in corporate America or in certain institutions like colleges and things of that nature, white, Hispanic, European, it doesn't make a difference. If they got some curl to that hair, they straighten it, because it's not just about the skin color. Curly hair is deemed unfeminine. It's deemed
What?
sexy.
Are you serious? Weekay. Are you guys hearing that? I never heard that.
There's Italian women, and everybody's in the closet by straightening their hair. Barbara Streisand straightened her hair her whole entire career until 1979, when she did Star is Born, and it was a fro.
Enough is enough. Like, I didn't know Barbara Streisand was curly hair. So wow, I didn't know that.
Her hair is super curly. And so my point is that, and I understand that blackness, or being Black American, or being Afro-centric, or identified, or of African descent in the Western world, makes it more difficult for Black people. I understand that. Now, but we have to understand that, once we can start talking about it just differently, and I always will say this, Afrophobia is real, just like any other phobia.
So the language we should be using when we're talking about how to talk politics when you disagree or agree, we have a new term that we could be using instead of racism, instead of sexism, instead of texturism. We could, or we now should be using the term Afrophobia. And that could come from the person who views the hair, as well as the person who is trying to, struggle with how to wear their hair. And because you'll see, you see something happens when you begin to wear your hair. Now, this clip that I'm going to show, I think this gentleman, I mean, he said it way better than I could have ever said it, but I think he got it. And this is where we're at today when it comes to Afrophobia. Okay, I'm not going to say racism or texturism. It's true Afrophobia. But here's his take on exactly what happened with the Afro in politics.
The Afro hairstyle first started on college campuses as a display and embodiment of revolutionary politics. Unfortunately, it got to a point where people would use hair as a way to out-Black and out-militant others. The hairstyle also caused division in Black households, with the older generations arguing that the style looked unkempt. But also, many average Black Americans just didn't agree with the politics behind the style. However, by the beginning of the 70s, the hairstyle became unconnected to Black power and increasingly seen on Black celebrities.
Oh, he did that. He slayed it.
He didn't.
No, you don't think so? I thought he did. All right, but let's see what you say. He gave some great talking. Okay, sure. Let's hear what you got to say.
No. Oh, well, let me just say this. I wonder how he got that screwed up there, though.
Well, how should it go? Because I agree with him. I think not, because in the Afro hair movement today, you do have this thing of you're not Black enough or you're not sister enough if you don't wear your quote unquote natural. And I see this it happens to me all the dang on time. How are you talking Afro hair and your hair straight now? I'll say, okay, go ahead.
Natural is a title. So when I say wear your natural, which natural are you talking about?
The hair growing from my scalp.
My afro natural in terms of it being round, or to wear it my hair unstraightened?
To me, I think you're talking about wear your hair however you want to wear from your scalp. That's what it means to me.
Well, if I straighten it, isn't it still from my scalp?
Yeah.
So what are we talking about?
Right, but we cannot act like what that man just said is not true.
Y'all need to stop. We wore afros on as stewardess.
We know that, but you have the new.
Stop.
No, you do have people. Sure, you do have people saying if you don't wear your hair like this, then you ain't. If you straighten your hair, you ain't black. If you do,
That's the same. But that's the same as what they call cognitive dissonance. That is not factual. Oprah was an anchor wearing an afro.
I know that, but I'm saying.
Okay, so if we know that, why do we still put contention in it just so we can feel better about a struggle? Why do we say that?
Because that's what they are doing. Now, remember, he's on the outside like me. If I had to look down into a jar and tell me, what do you see? I see people saying things like, I'm blacker than you. I'm more political than you. I'm more revolutionary than you.
Well,
if I have that afro, that did happen.
Right. Well, it didn't happen commercially or secularly. That was a small minority of people because your afro was secular. Your afro made everybody else want an afro. That is not true. That's a small demographic. Now, how to keep from
well, now is it when you say it's a small demographic, are you saying that the media is playing this division up, making it more than what it really is? And you're saying that you see more African Americans like, well, I mean, I will admit that when my mother grew up, it just really wasn't really was not a big thing. I mean, they just wore it.
Her mother understood that she could take her afro to the secretary corporate job.
Right, but at some point it shifted.
No, it didn't. It didn't shift. Your trend hairstyle shifted, not the political process didn't shift. Your unprofessional was not attached until it was attached to what we call tribal styles, locks, braids. It was not applicable to the afro. That was a small minority group. Now, let me just say this: to keep the arguments out of the hair salon, or to have better arguments, shall I say, you have to get clarification, ask questions, because we could be talking about different things at one time, and we're not talking about the same thing. The afro natural, the fro, the afro, just the plain natural. Those were names of hairstyles. Now, the 2000 season actually made it natural hair according to the hair strand. That was not the same movement of 1965.
I agree. It did not mean that.
You cannot conflate them. This new one is making you less black if you straighten.
This is true.
The afro of 1965 person did not tell no black woman she was less black because she wore a press and curl. And you certainly did not go up to James Brown with his press process and tell his ass he wasn't black.
Sober the number one.
Okay, so we have to make sure that we're talking about the same thing, and that's small secular. And one of the things about cognitive dissonance, and this is why we have not been able to vote our interests on a consistent basis, instead of blaming it on the parties and blame it on our collective understanding, so I can have something in common with you and you can have something in common with me. Stop arguing about minors. Stop arguing about shit that don't matter. It doesn't matter if I straighten or not straighten my hair. Stop making that an issue.
It doesn't matter, but people do view that if you wear your hair, like I am telling you,
straighten,
if you straighten your hair, you are not considered black enough.
Now, and I want you to hear me, black people. If that is your complaint, and and if that is a parlay and worthy enough to get into an argument with a person that got them big lips and big eyes and big nose and dark skin and has more in common with you than not, what a shame. And don't look for politicians to give you anything when you can't even freaking see eye to eye about blackness. Just stop it.
Just stop it. But here's this young lady with the saying what Cheryl is saying. Here we go. Close to it.
So here's my thing when it comes to compliments calling me strong, looking like a strong black woman when I only wear my afro. Because I don't get this compliment with any other hairstyle, just the afro. To me, it sounds like you are assuming that I am strong in every area of my life, and therefore I have no feelings, okay? You're not treating me the same. I personally think I look like a flower, but the truth is I am strong. But don't sit here and call me that. Are you all right? Every woman is strong. We're very strong. But you're not calling a woman with curly locks down her back strong. You're not calling her that. You're not calling an Asian woman with straight hair strong. Stop. Like, why are you calling me strong? Life's hard. Help me.
Okay. She's saying very close to, these are these stereotypes. These things happen. If you have, especially when it comes to politics, if you really want to get out there and make a statement, rock the afro. There was even a comment that Stacey Abrams could not be in that position because she wore this natural. And I'm like, what?
Right. And let me ask you a question. And let me just say this. And where did Europe practice politics for the first time?
Where did Europe practice politics for the first time? Let's see.
In America.
In America, okay. Say that again. That's a trick question because you just got me. Hello, everybody.
Where did the founding fathers, the 13 colonies, where did they practice politics for the first time in America?
All right, Facebook, what you got? LinkedIn.
What you got?
We have some scholars on LinkedIn. Welcome. All right, YouTube, take a stab at it. Instagram, if you're woke over there, Cheryl's going to answer the question one more time. I'm going to take a stab at it. Let's see. I'm going to drop my response in the chat. Ask the question one more again, and then we're going to hit that like button while they're
Where did America first practice politics?
Where did America first practice politics? This is mine's in the chat. All right. I put mine's in there. And in the meantime, while you guys are working, Cheryl's going to tell you what you need to do right now to help us get that 3,000. We're going for 3,000 followers, guys. So here's what you got to do right now. Show them, Cheryl. Bam. Pump me on. Pump me on. Sure, like it's getting hot in here. This conversation getting hot. Again, we are 122 episodes in, and as you can see, when we're saying how to talk politics, when you disagree, this is not an easy topic to have.
No, not at all.
But we're hoping that we're getting you some conversations. Now, remember, you're going to be visiting the hair salon. You're going to be visiting, the barbershop, and we're going to be encouraging you to exercise your fundamental right here in the United States, and that is please vote. I know some people we got a whole lineup this month on both platforms about voting, but this is in the context of Afro hair, and we're just kind of putting this in under the guise of what makes Afro hair so political. And as you can see, this is not easy to iron out. But Cheryl wants you guys to answer the question. Say it again, Cheryl, and I put my answer in the chat.
Where did America first practice politics?
Where did America first practice politics? Okay, we've got Virginia. I was going to say Philadelphia. And then we have Delaware. Let's see if we got any answers over on Instagram. No answers over there. Okay, so we've got Bold over here on out here in these YouTube streets. Ain't that right? We gangsta out here. So we have Virginia, Philadelphia. I was going to say Philadelphia or Delaware. So where did America first practice politics?
The plantation. I know Black people don't talk about it much, and I think Black people don't know how to talk about it because we're so busy focusing on slavery that we don't understand the politics of the plantation.
We gang, I'm about to sit back. Y'all go ahead on Black because I want to hear this one. Boy, when we talk about how to talk politics when you disagree, she just slapped us with the reality that politics in America was born on the plantation. So technically, we would have said Virginia plantation, Philadelphia plantation, or Delaware plantation. But
let's start in South Carolina.
Yeah. Okay, South Carolina plantation. I'm with you, VK. Damn. Sure, you killing us. All right. Break that down for us. That's really hard. So here we go. This is, you may agree or disagree. Now, can we source this? That's what I'm going to say. Do you have a source for this?
I'm going to make my point. Okay. Now, can you honestly say, do you know what politics are? What is politics? What is it?
I'm going to say politics is like the art or a way of negotiating and trying to make things happen for or against, depending on what your cause is, with all like parties, you know, who might benefit from what you're trying to get them to do for a collective group. And so to me, you're politicking. You're kind of, well, you know, let's find a way, you know, a little give or take, a little concessions here, a little, you know, woo to woo for my people, you know, in this location. So to me, that's politics, like a person or a group of people, you know, preferably a representative for the people. Okay, so that's what I got, WK. I think I'm speaking for us out here in these YouTube streets. Okay.
Okay. All righty. Okay. Politics is the only social norm that has nothing to do with racism, economics, nothing. It has nothing to do with any of that because politics and politicians are a management system. When people compete for other people's shit.
What you talking about, huh?
So, if you have an interest and I have an interest, and we're both arguing over their shit, land, oil, corn, food, water,
resource.
air. Okay, it's not ours, but I have an interest, and I have to compete against you
for their stuff.
Right?
Okay.
Which now, how did we get their stuff? Is called racism, which is a whole different thing. But if I want to keep more of them, I want to compete with you against them, and I have to make sure that a party's interest is on top, and then you joggle about you being on top. That's politics.
And the person over there, you
Right.
know, I'm sorry, the person over there, they
Democrats,
don't even.
right. They have an interest. We have an interest.
No, I'm talking about
All
the people stuff that they're trying to get.
right.
Like they're
Well,
not involved in this.
yeah, we and took their shit. We and took their shit. They are underneath our jurisdiction. We are the ruling class. So the ruling class spits themselves into Republicans and Democrats. They still got other people's shit. Right? My point in saying about the plantation, and to prove it, that statement that she made about her hair only being in her persona, her image, her body, her blackness, her essence only being synonymous with being strong is when the hair is unlike a white woman's. That is a plantation. That's plantation politics. That's plantation. Black women weren't allowed. That allowed the mind to be able to abuse her, to neglect her, to do this to her, to subjugate her, to marginalize her, to keep her looking in a way to where she could not fashion herself and clean herself and hygiene and make herself, to keep her grotesque. And so the psyche, white psyche, will say that is a Dinah. You know where the word diner comes from? It comes from Dinah. And a Dinah breastfed all the children in the block that white women didn't want to breastfeed.
You know what? We can.
So the politics of the plantation is where at the foundation of America's psyche. And Black people only talk about slavery and not the institution in which encapsulated them, their homes, their daily life, how they saw the world, how the world saw them, and how people treated them, which lays the groundwork to the emancipation and then Jim Crow. And see, all of it comes from the plantation politics. Black men are seen to think that Black women have a little bit of edge and an advantage. No, because she was a resource. She had more to offer. There was more value placed on her. So there is a little resentment, little residual resentment, because we don't talk about the politics of the plantation.
Now let me just, I just kind of want to take it back just a little bit.
Absolutely.
Just in case some people just came in the chat. And again, we are on our 122nd episode, and we're talking about how to talk politics when you disagree. You're in the hair salon, you're in the barbershop. Our job as cosmetologists and barbers and nail techs and estheticians goes beyond hair, skin, and nails. We also have a civic responsibility. While we can't tell you who to vote for, we most definitely should be telling you to vote. And that's what we're going to be talking about a little bit as we go into this topic further throughout the month of September. But Cheryl just kind of took us through the reality that America's politics has its its roots, its humble, unorthodox beginnings on the plantation by taking other people's stuff for their best interests. Now, typically we think of the Indians, yes. True. Yes. But Cheryl just took it a little bit deeper, because once they worked their politics on the Indians, they quickly or simultaneously, they were working on the enslaved Africans that they stole from Africa. Particularly on the women, because we had more resources than men by way of our ability to, number one, procreate, two, feed, nourish these children.
Intuition, beauty, sciences, chemistry, all those other feminine art forms. And I know that men's idea in hierarchy in their male minds, they put brute strength, brunt, ahead of all of the other things. But in the politics of the plantation, baby, they were not. They were the least respected. It was not just about brute strength. Brute strength was a given. But it had nothing to do with value and how the pecking order of the plantation, who got benefits and who got meritorious manumission, who got this and who got that, and and two, and I think that what made our disagreement, and this is how we're trying to give you guys a format on how to talk about these things in Islam, because you don't necessarily have to avoid them, but what you can do is just offer a little more information, maybe, perhaps, little more facts, maybe data, maybe maybe some more insight. Now, you do know when you guys have somebody that's just hell bent on being disagreeable,
right? And then you just kind of,
and of course, you avoid those at all costs.
At all costs. Now we are. I am currently, Cheryl and I, it's no big secret that on this platform we are pro our future President Kamala Harris. And so Waverly has so kindly put together Hair Pros for Harris here in Cleveland, Ohio. We are also partnering together to do a true voter engagement campaign in our industry, because we do have a responsibility. And when we talk about the dumbest shit that people say about Black hair, and it's just that we don't talk politics in the hair salon. Yes, we do, and we can do it responsibly. And Cheryl just told us that we need to put some historical context behind it. You hear it all the time: source up, source up, source up. And so, if you don't believe the politics in America starting on the plantation, go read some slave narratives. Go read some history about slavery, and it's not going to be hard to deduce.
It's so ironic that you guys don't realize that 400 Years Without a Comb is a political science book.
And not only is it a political science book, but it is also one of our must reads here. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is, right here. So here are some sources where you can find out if what Cheryl is saying is true or not, because that's what people, Ladosha and Cheryl just over there starting shit. Key Lolo trying to act like she don't know stuff. I don't know, but I'm honest. I'm honest. You know what I'm saying? Delarice, rest in peace.
Yes.
We love Delarice. Okay, at least I'm honest. Okay, I don't know all the intricacies, but it makes sense to WK and I. We're in the chat and we're like, wow. So the politics in America, it's humble beginnings. It's right here, right there on those various plantations. If you want another source to find out how real this was and what we did in hair salons, we are not out of order and encouraging people to vote. Remember, we have Styling Jim Crow. These two books, now we have an entire book list, that we've been pushing since we've been going live here. And so these remain our top 3 books, but we have Styling Jim Crow, right? We have 400 Years Without a Comb. And then, of course, we have Style and Status. Those 3 books are going to be your go-to sources to help you have a healthy conversation about voter engagement, on how to talk politics when you disagree, because you, the consumer, you're going to be coming into our places and spaces, and we want you to know that your vote matters. And though we should not be pushing you to vote for Kamala, but Cheryl and I, we're going to do it anyway. Y'all do what y'all want to do, but please vote for Kamala Harris, okay? Our last clip here is, y'all like, Dosha, you wrong for that. I know, but that just, keep low, okay? So here we are in conclusion. Here's what this woman has to say about Afro hair in politics, because this is the context of for you guys. When you say, well, why are y'all talking about this in the hair salon? Here's why. Here we go.
Why is black hair so political? Now, narratives around black hair have been a taboo subject for far too long. And it's about time we had these conversations. Now, according to Thorpe's research, there was never a time that a person did not have their hair done in some kind of style. In fact, hair was so important that if a person did not have their hair made in some style or in some way that was good, it was said that they were mentally ill. Afro hair through the eyes of the Black community is a direct representation of our very own identity, our culture. Black hair conversations already have a seat at the table.
All right. So there we are. Again, I'm on TikTok getting all of this cool content. There's also a lot of wonderful information here on the YouTube platforms, as well as Facebook and LinkedIn, and of course on Instagram. But this young lady is saying, we already have a seat at the table. Hair salons and barbershops and nail spas and skincare spas. These are going to be places where you are going to hear very candid discussions about politics. And Cheryl said we have a civic responsibility to encourage you guys to exercise your individual right. When you get into that box and you have that ballot, you want to go up and down that ticket. Don't just vote for Harris, but remember you have other parts of the political stratosphere here in America that plays a role. And so we're going to help you guys understand that on both platforms. But Cheryl, as we close out the topic about how to talk about it when it's difficult, we got to sit at the table. We got to talk about this thing called politics, and Afro hair definitely, it plays a role. But let's just talk a little bit for the younger people because I like the way she was kind of talking about the culture and the history and, how we wore our hair and, what it was viewed and things of that nature. So let's just talk to the younger customer who's going to come in the hair salon. And it's just really kind of like, I don't care because I ain't voting. We're just going to close it out with I ain't voting. I ain't voting. They ain't never did nothing for me. I mean, got time for politics.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're not registered or you're not voting and you don't see because I want you to understand that when Black people say your ancestors fought for you for the right to vote, no, they fought for you to vote right. Do not vote if you don't feel that you're voting your interest. Don't just use it just as some going through the motions. Make sure that you're using it properly so you can help somebody with it. That's the point. The point here is for us to understand each other. What are we talking about when we're talking about it? So maybe we need to ask each other questions and sit down and clarify, what are you, so I can really know how to address you, or what are we talking about? Because if you want to talk about Kamala being a woman, then I'm really actually, if I'm talking to a man, then I'm actually trying to filter through his misogyny. Right? I'm not talking, he doesn't feel, Kamala has dated more Black men than she's dated a white man. Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. She's always dated Black men. Okay? So what is the problem? Maybe we need to ask more questions. And if we get down to it, let's find a common, because that is our interest. And we need to go to the polls collectively, not as individuals. And if we need to go as individuals, then group up. Maybe it women, maybe it children, it may be as Black men as they think, or is it, because I don't understand if they are trying to deal with their interests, voting for someone who took their hard-earned private sector capitalistic dollars and paid $100,000 to call for the execution of Black men. It has to be cognitive dissonance. It can't be anything else. So we really don't have to argue. But if we could make, especially barbers are so important into the information portal, because barbers were were such stewards. They mm-hmm. were fathers. They were seen as the first business class in Black America. So it's going to take, so I commend Waverly, and we're going to join, and maybe hopefully can still clarify this conversation, and maybe we also can ask more questions on Thursday night. But it is going to be the most important personal journey for us, because it's going to question where are our convictions finally. Because it's got one that actually, the rapper Piles,
Plies.
like he said, do we hate each other that much to just go ahead and vote for our to not vote for our interests? What are we talking about? And what makes us,
Right. I think the other thing I want anyone who has that position that you're not voting, and like Cheryl said, there are 1,000 reasons, that they tell you, why our ancestors voted. But what I can say, I don't have anything foxy to say. It's just the reality is, if they didn't, you wouldn't be where you are. I mean, you're reaping the benefits of
that
a
process.
whole lot of people, who use, like, you're not in that salon, you're not in that loft, you're not in those projects, you're not in that new home that you built, you're not driving that car, you're not eating that food, you're not even wearing those clothes. Hell, these braces, you ain't got none of this, dog. No internet, glasses, underwire bras. I can go on for days. You know what I'm saying? None of that would not. School, even your ability to speak the way that you speak and read what you read, and they're basically trying to tell you what you can't read now, is because someone, and a whole lot of someones, they voted. And so these are not inalienable rights that we have, no matter whether you're a man, a woman, black or white or whatever. It doesn't matter. So as my mother would say, put that in your peace pipe and smoke it.
And at the end of the day, it's so ironic that when Black people, and I can understand that they have come to the point where they are real, kind of at the bitter end with the Democratic Party. But I just want to put something on your mind. Democratic Party has given you every liberal justice of the Supreme Court. And that's what's kicking your ass right now. Those conservative justice of Supreme Court that Donald Trump put on. And if you don't understand it, so don't say that however you want to put it in your mind, however you want to fix it, just understand the power of SCOTUS. To understand how powerful those particular, and every conservative person that's ever been on that court, from Justice Taney, that said in the Dred Scott case, Black men, Black people, Black women, Black children have no rights a white man is bound to respect. And they still think he is the greatest justice.
The greatest. That's what they say.
Ever lived.
Y'all see?
That's the point. So stop saying that the Democratic Party didn't give you anything. And they may not have given you anything, but they sure ain't took shit away from you. And that is what you need to understand. Black people.
And let me tell you something. And y'all think y'all don't know who Taney is. Now, I know y'all have seen that little article floating around here. They had them kids in that little league, that little black little league baseball team. And they had them little black boys and girls with them Taney. And they said, take it off now. Because we're doing things that, we just don't know anything about. And we hope that you have walked away for certain understanding the foundation of the politics in America has its roots, its humble beginnings on the plantation. And so that ought to give you something to really think about and munch on. And I think, who was this over here on Instagram saying, if you think it's contentious in the hair salon and the barbershop, they said, try the dinner table. Yeah, that was Shell Shock. So Shell Shock 62 said, try this at the dinner table and you'll be sure to get the conversation going. But do your responsibility and know that when you enter into the hair salons and barbershops, you are going to hear various hairstylists, barbers, nail techs, and skincare specialists, encouraging you to exercise your right to vote. And Cheryl and I, we are no different. The month of September is dedicated to politics, on both platforms. And so we're going to be back next week, and we're going to talk about why has the barber and beauty industry become so political? Because right now, more than ever, because we're building up, Cheryl's going to take us out at the end of the month on Project 2025. But right now, we have to find out, why has our industry become so political? Now you have politicians from everywhere. We're under attack, from taking down the relaxer to reducing hours. What is this really all about? Before, it just really wasn't like that. We were involved in a different way. And sure, maybe I'll just give a little context from our book, Styling Jim Crow, from Marjorie Stewart Joyner, these were the progenitors of the modern day, us being involved. So I'll kind of get us going with how it started, and then Charlotte's going to move us through, so you guys can realize we're not just people who do hair. We have a responsibility beyond the chair, because not only do we love styling hair, but shit, we love people too. I know it don't look like it, don't we, Cheryl?
Absolutely.
We love y'all, okay?
Absolutely.
All right. And then we're going to be back Thursday. And the theme right here for the month of September is the politics of Afro hair. And then when we get over to Planet Pluto Pseudo, the theme for the month is the Ballot, Barbers, and the Beauticians. This is pretty powerful stuff here, guys. We have, again, we're not just people who do hair. So Cheryl, you want to give us a closing thought as we wrap this whole thing up here? And thank you guys so much for rocking it out with us, okay?
Well, I will say this: the the politics of blackness and the politics of whiteness. And if you're not able to use the politics of blackness, then I expect white people to use the politics of whiteness. And Joe Biden gave you that. He knew Barack Obama couldn't get it done. He gave you your first black woman Supreme Court justice. And he's going to get you and hand you, in a backdoor way, hand you the first black woman president of the United States. I don't know if he made that promise to Shirley Chisholm. I don't know. But his ass has been on one. And I don't necessarily believe that he has not known what he was doing. But as if anything that I can say, may not got nothing, but they sure ain't taking nothing away. And I think that we need to just go ahead and understand our interests. Let's band together. Love y'all, black folks.
All right, come on, y'all. Do the right thing. All right, let's do the right thing. We'll be back on Thursday at 9 o'clock sharp. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel. We appreciate you guys for helping us reach our goal. Isn't that right, Cheryl?
That's right.
We were able to get 2,500 subscribers. All right, so now our goal is to get 3,000, just 500 more. This is an authentic build here. So everybody who's in the chat, from 1 people to 2,500, to 2,499, we appreciate each and every last one of you. This is no joke. And you know what we say when we're signing out, right? We're talking about a whole lot of peace, for sure, a whole lot of love. And then, of course, we're always talking about a whole lot of hair. But check it out. If you ain't got no hair, don't want no hair, can't stand no hair, you can't grow it, you plan on cutting it off, you know what we say? Don't even worry about it, because all of that is truly beautiful too. And so are you. Please, please, please get ready to vote and talk to the people who say, yeah, and try to get them to vote. We really need it. Your vote truly does matter. This is not a joke. It does matter, okay? All right, guys, have a wonderful night. We learned a lot tonight, a whole lot. Thank you, Cheryl. You're always the best. All right. Good night, guys. Cheryl, you ready for the chit-chat tonight?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now, woo.
get our check.
Cheryl, Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
That was it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed her. Dang! It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips.